Not only have I written, my major love is speaking, I suppose, and I like to tell my audiences a couple of things that I hope that if they remember. One, I'll be in good shape. One is that we are all teaching all the time. We are teaching everyone around us who we are and what we believe truly life is all about. I firmly believe that every life is teaching everyone around them something. We are teaching all the time. I learned that a number of years ago just down the street when my older daughter was 3. One morning I had to go to the cleaners, but when I walked through the kitchen to the back porch I saw that it was raining, and even though the cleaner was only a couple blocks away, my wife's car was in the driveway, so I thought I'd borrow it. But I must have lost my mind momentarily because I hadn't asked my wife's permission first. I just presumed she wasn't going anywhere in the next 75 seconds. But sure enough, when I walk back, or drive back into the driveway, there's my wife on the back porch. Her arms are folded, and her foot is tapping. And my 3-year-old daughter's standing next to her. Her arms are folded. Her foot is tapping. And as I opened the car door, my daughter said to me, "Daddy, ever occur to you to take your own damn car?" My grandfather taught me that there is a first time and a last time for everything. He would say to us as we sat on the front porch, which was really nothing more than a stoop, but he would say to us, when you sit down at dinner tonight in the kitchen, you look at those faces at that table and you cherish that moment. Because there was a first time and there will surely be a last. And I believe he's been right. I was a very poor student in school, which I think gave me a different perspective on life. In 4th grade, this teacher had these different reading groups, and you're in one of them because the whole world's in one of them. The really smart kids were the cardinals, then there were the bluebirds, the robins, and the sparrows. Halfway through the school year, the teacher made up a special reading group just for me, the droppings. But I remember the very best day I ever had in elementary school. I went to a Catholic school. Anyone here a Catholic, by the way? Gee, I guess the rest of you are just going to burn in hell for it. But that year we had a lay teacher, and she put an arithmetic problem on the board. No one could get the right answer. She's calling on all the heavy hitters, the cardinals, the bluebirds. They don't know the answer. She's getting desperate now, so she's calling on some robins. They don't know the answer either. The sparrows don't even know it's an arithmetic. Of course, all the time I'm over there waving my hand like a madman, and every now and then she'd give me a pathetic sneer and call on somebody else. And after she had called on everybody else, she looked over at me and said, "Well, Mr. Powers, Mr. Whenever a teacher didn't like you, it was always Mr. Even if you were a girl." "Well, Mr. Powers, what do you think's the correct answer?" And I calmly stood up and said, "The correct answer is 17. She was astounded. She said, "Well, that's right. The correct answer is 17. But she was hardly about to compliment me. She looked at the rest of the class and said, "Well, if even Mr. Powers can get the right answer, if even that guy knows what's going on, what's wrong with the rest of you?" And she went on that way for at least 10 minutes. But somewhere during that monologue, she and I became friends. And finally she looked over and said, "John?" "No." "Yes, Margaret?" That was the end of that. Thank you.
John, you didn't disappoint me.